want this? Do you want champion hat or Chevy hat?
This is.
Hello, how are you? All right, good evening, everyone. We have now been joined by our race winner in tonight's Heart of America 200 at Kansas Speedway here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Grant, congratulations on that win. A dominating performance there at the end for your team. Take us through those final laps and what it means to be able to have this win in the books.
Yeah, definitely a huge night for us. From the drop of the green flag, we had a really, really good Chevy Silverado. Just started out really tight. So honestly, the first stage was the only thing I didn't really think we were capable of contending of just going up there and controlling the race. Once Jeff made one adjustment on it there to kind of end out that first stage, as soon as we put on tires the first time, I felt like from that point forward, we were potentially the best truck out there. Definitely there were some other guys that were really, really good, but I definitely feel like we had the truck to beat tonight. So you never know how these mile and a halves are going to play out. Obviously, there was a little bit of chaos there behind this a couple of times, and that one big wreck on the restart there. So fortunate enough to be in front of that stuff. And Corey and Zane were both good as well there at the end. But yeah, once we got that track position back, I knew it was our race to lose. I'll just said a lot of prayers not to get a caution there at the end. So thankful for that. I think we had the best truck anyway. These restarts in the truck series are crazy. So I'm very glad that we got to avoid that.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to the media now for questions, and we'll start in the back.
Todd Engel with the Kansas City Star. You mentioned that it had been a slow year and a half for you. How long has it been since you've had that feeling where you know you've had a truck that's really going to be hard to beat? And what was it like tonight to be able to kind of put it all together and put together a race maybe that's been better than any you've had in a while?
Yeah, I guess the most frustrating part for me, since returning back to GMS racing is honestly we've only had a truck capable of contending maybe 4 or 5 times total in whatever it is, 30 races or whatever. This time last year, I felt like we did a great job a few times of executing to the best of our ability, but we just flat out were missing something with the trucks themselves. So no matter what we did at the track, it was kind of other guys were going to have to miss it pretty good for us to have a shot to win. But I haven't felt that way at all this year. I felt like, honestly, like myself and Jeff, not anybody individually, but just all of us as a group, just haven't executed very cleanly this year. Feel like we were making little mistakes, and we just weren't good enough to overcome it. We've had a truck capable of winning 2 races this year, but this is by far the best truck we've had all year. But I mean, there was a ton of effort. A lot of soul searching went into this truck, and some stuff that we felt like we learned last year that didn't work at all at Vegas, but had showed some potential. We finally we analyzed everything we could, and Jeff told me just to stop thinking about it. But when I got in the truck, and I think his mindset was good the whole race. I feel like mine was as well, and like I said, though, you show up with a truck like that, makes the driver, makes the crew chief, makes a picker, makes everybody look a lot better. So the biggest thing is having that kind of speed, and yeah, this is definitely the best truck we've had in a while, probably since IRP last year.
All right. Off mute here. We'll go up front to Zach.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Grant, congrats on the win. You and Raja both had speed tonight. How much more encouraging does that make a night like tonight when it's not just one truck and you see the both of you guys show signs of competitive trucks?
Yeah, I think that's a great sign. And even though we didn't qualify great, we were 10th, 11th, and 14th, I think, or 10th, 11th, and 13th. We were right there in a group, and it's better than qualifying 17th. Mike over here has yelled at us a good bit after qualifying at Daytona and Vegas, and quite a few of them. And we have worked really, really hard on it. But myself and Hensley have tried to. we tried to have the mindset of making a good race truck, and if you got a good enough one like we did tonight, you can stand qualifying 11th. So, and this is a good track too. I mean, this is a track that if you have a good truck, you can make your way to the front. Some of the tracks we go to, it's single file racing, and it's really tough to pass. Kansas is, in my opinion, one of the better tracks we go to now. You can run any groove out here. We have enough tire wear, makes it for a great race for the drivers and the fans, and you don't see a guy beat everybody off pit road and just dirty air them to death. So I think that makes for a great race. But it was good that Raja had speed. To answer your question, it's good that honestly we all qualified, within a couple tenths. So that's something we're still working on. But very, very proud of everything we did when the green flag dropped tonight.
Collectively, how significant is a win for GMS Racing right now?
I mean, it's huge anytime. Just I think more so than getting in the playoffs. I think we were talking about it the other day. I was actually telling, I think, Mike the other day. I was like, man, it's just been a little bit of a rough go, this first 7 races, and it's not like me or Jeff or anybody has made any big mistakes, but we've made little ones, and we just haven't been executing cleanly. I think something that we pride ourselves on is every time we come down pit road, we make the truck better and better. I try to, get more good restarts than bad restarts. I feel like I've been 50-50 leading up to this race tonight. And a couple of strategy things we tried to make the right move, and they worked out wrong, and it's not like we've made huge errors in any race, but we've made little ones, and now we're stuck in 15th and can't go anywhere. And the biggest thing today is we executed. We did everything we were supposed to do. Jeff stayed up with the track. He made the truck better and better. Those last 2 runs, I really couldn't complain about the truck much. We couldn't have asked for it to be much better other than just more grip and more speed. So it was pretty well balanced. Getting a little bit free there towards the end. With about 8 or 10 to go, I was trying to baby the right rear a little bit in case we were to have a restart. But fortunately, we didn't. But overall, to answer your question, it's big to get in the playoffs, but it's bigger for a confidence boost for Jeff and this whole 23 team.
All right, John, go ahead.
John, newbieheavy.com. So all of your wins in the truck series, they've all taken place at, different tracks. And it's been super speedways, short tracks, intermediates. Does it make you more kind of, well-rounded or dangerous heading towards the playoffs?
I mean, to me, the big thing about this race is this is in the playoffs. Now, whether it's going to be 60 degrees when we come back or 110 degrees, who knows? But we're coming back to this same Kansas Speedway, supposedly with the same tires. So, I think that is a big deal. So Jeff is one of the most thorough crew chiefs out there. So he'll be posting this truck. He'll be measuring everything to the T to where we can unload. Really close to here when we come back. So I think that's the biggest deal. Obviously it's huge. Mike and Maury and everybody at Champion. I don't know. The effort has been there the whole time, but I feel like there's been a lot of times I've left the track, feeling disappointed that we kind of let them down. We have a team capable of doing this every week, so I'm not going to be happy till we continue to do that. I've been incredibly thankful from this time last year all the way through. There has been so much effort put into this. I'm glad that we were able to show it.
All right, go ahead.
Steven Stump, frontrust.com. I have 2 questions for you, Grant. First, as you kind of said, there hasn't been too many races at GMS recently where you've had this much speed. In fact, you led more laps today than you did all of last season. Is there anything that you kind of saw today that you think the team could replicate, keep doing? Is it going forward?
Definitely. I mean, there has been a lot of little gains throughout the last few weeks. So Barry's been a big help. Barry Swift has come back to the shop. I feel like overall Jeff Hensley does a better job than almost anybody at the little details. But as an organization, I feel like we worked on the details better this race than I've seen us since I came back to GMS. So I feel like the Truck Series field is so competitive. I feel like everybody's doing the big stuff. It's the little stuff that really shows up, and I feel like that's honestly, we did a lot of little things, and we hit it right. You know, I feel like in practice, the truck wasn't perfect, but I felt good about our actual downforce. I felt good about like the truck we had, but we were talking about it in the trailer. We talked for 2 hours before we agreed on the adjustment. Jeff let me be a part of that. I think that's why he gave me the speech before the race about stop thinking about stuff. But overall, like there was a lot of just analysis on little adjustments. I think sometimes that we've been off this year, and we've been slinging a couple rounds at it. Jeff was talking about a quarter pound of air pressures and a half pound of air pressures tonight. So that's definitely a sign of a great truck.
And then my second question is, from watching the Jumbotron after the race, it looks like you had trouble finding victory lane. Is that true?
Did I got what?
That you had trouble finding victory lane?
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
How do I politically say? They didn't know what they were doing when they were flagging me on. So I was, slow. Nobody was waving me. Yeah, hey, me either. So they kept on waving me there, and then they told me I was going in backwards, and then they told me to go back around, and there was already a car coming or a truck coming this way. I was like, no, I'm going this way. There's a gate. Just open it. So hey, we made amends afterwards, so we're all good.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. When Morion the other day, when talking about the legacy move to Toyota, said that they'll be trying to figure out what the options are going forward in the next month or two as far as the truck program and its future. So are you guys extra motivated, and is it possible to have like extra motivation and have it come out in results?
I mean, I'd say the motivation and the effort has been here all along. I don't think that mindset really played into anything. I mean, obviously, Chevrolet has been a partner of Maury's, since their inception 10 years ago. I mean, it's been a huge part of this truck series. Chevrolet has been great to us. They've been great to us since that announcement. Obviously, we're in the same house is Legacy, but we're two different organizations. And Dane, we talked yesterday. He's like, he has full intentions of us contending for the playoffs and contending for a championship. They're not going to do anything that detriments that. And I've known long ago in my racing career that you never know what tomorrow might hold. So definitely got a race like there is none. So I think overall all we can say is Chevrolet has been a heck of a partner, continue to be a great partner. They're on our truck with a beautiful paint scheme this weekend with the GM Military Appreciation Initiative. So very, very thankful. And man, it's not just been, Mike and Maury and the guys at GMS Racing that have put this effort behind this. I mean, it's been Dane, it's been Damien, it's been Ben. Everybody at Chevrolet has been behind this effort, and they stand behind it. So I was at the SEM again the other day. So our job hasn't changed at all, Bob.
All right, Chris, go ahead, and then I have 2 additional questions.
ChrisKnightCatchfence.com. Grant, 8 races to go in the regular season. What's the strategy you feel like to give yourself a fair shot in the playoffs to get all the way to Phoenix?
I mean, obviously this changes things a little bit, and I told Hensley to just enjoy tonight, and but not forget what we did to get here tonight. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm not gonna try to overthink anything more tonight. But yeah, obviously it can change our strategy a little bit on what we do moving forward. So me and Hensley will talk about that in the coming days or whatever. But I'm not ignoring that. I just don't want to think about it right now, Chris.
Elliot Stern, sportstalk805.com. On lap 103, back to tonight's race. What did you see that you said, I can get by both Heim and Smith right now? What was the opening you saw?
That's the air in these truck races. I knew there was potential for that happening going into turn 1. So I tried to modulate my entry to where I could have a really, really good exit and not not have to lift on exit. Depending on where you're positioned and pointed, if I were to lift on exit, that would have lost that run for me. So I knew that there was potential for me to get both of them in one shot right there, and that's how it worked out. It hurt my entry a little bit to turn 3, and I actually had to slip a little bit on the exit of 4, but that was all we needed. Truly, I think we had a good enough Chevy Silverado tonight to just go out and pass either of those guys by ourselves with no help, but that definitely made it a lot better. I feel like we proved tonight. We went up there and passed a lot of good trucks. We started 11th tonight, and we passed a lot of good trucks all night long. I feel like the only time we got past was one of the last 3 starts before we put on tires there in that 3rd stage, where we had a little bit older tires. Guys got to me. I didn't clear them going into turn 1 and 2 on the restart, and we kind of got swallowed up a little bit there. But I feel like for the most part we were on offense all night, and I feel like we had a good enough truck to get by those guys anyway. But that helped me.
Hallie, Step 88 at KCOU 88.1 FM. Before tonight's race, you had 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, an average finish of 6.8 at Kansas. You finally broke through and got your first win here at Kansas in the Truck Series. What is it about this racetrack that brings the best out of you?
I think this racetrack promotes good racing and being able to, have lane choices. A lot of the places we go, like, Texas, for example, you got 1 or 2 lanes to choose from. It's really easy for the guy in front of you to block your air. If this guy blocks you down, you go to the middle. If he blocks you middle, you go top. You have plenty of options. And I feel like what I said earlier, what myself and Jeff pride ourselves on is making the truck better and better throughout the race. Last 2 races here, we ran top 5, but we were terrible the first 2/3 of both of those races, struggling to run 15th, and we were able to make the trucks good enough at the end, and then we had lane choices to hey, now that we had a top 5 truck, we could drive to there. But like I said, tonight we qualified 11th. We were able to kind of drive through the field pretty good, and that's a testament to the truck, but that's also a testament to the racetrack. There's enough tire wear with the tires Goodyear is bringing us. This track is aged just right, in my opinion. It's not too bumpy, but it does wear out the tires. We got a second and a half fall off. That promotes good racing. So I like tracks like here, Homesteads, tracks that you have lane choices.
All right, Grant. Congratulations again on that win. Thanks for spending some time with us. We wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.